What is going on, YouTube? My name is NC2 and welcome back to Season 4, Week 1 of the NPL. I am your coach of the Litchfield Park Larvitars, and we are getting right into this battle. It is good to say those words one more time for another season. We are back for our third season of the NPL. We were in Season 2, 3, and now in 4. Hopefully we can pull out some wins here. Let's get right into this battle. But first, let me introduce my team real quick. I got Mega Metacham, I have Heatran, I have Torn Eye, I have Cofagrigus, I have Silvally, which is a fairy type, and I will get into why they need to put out a completely detailed version of Silvally. And then I also have Chestnut. On the opponent's team, for our opponent Nick, also known as Reckless Bat, and the coach of the Texas Tyrantrums, we have Spiritomb, Jolteon, Mega Venusaur, Quagsire, Haxorus, and Clefable. Now, let's get right on into this battle here. I'm going to play with the music off because the music is too damn loud and I have my music already in the background. I start off with the Heatran and he goes into his Mega Venusaur. He switches on out while I go for my Stealth Rocks. His Quagsire was kind of the person to put pressure on Heatran the entire time. If I were to have carried a grass type move on Heatran, maybe HP Grass, I would have been able to do something, but I knew that Chestnut would have been my one and only person to do things to this this Quagsire. And so, to the fact that he didn't really have any defoggers or rapid spinners on his team, it was kind of easy to set up rocks, and maybe I should have been hazard stacking this whole time to get some damage off, but it really wasn't worth it. I didn't really think about that. Didn't really think about his hazard setters or hazard removers. So let's just resume. And then he talks to me, and then I'm gonna predict he's gonna go into his Mega Venusaur. So I go for my Zen Headbutt, and it does really massive damage to a regular Venusaur. Although he does go up into his Mega Venusaur, he does Synthesis, and I go for Zen Headbutt again, and he's just gonna literally whittle me down until I realize that maybe I should probably switch out on this. So I go for Zen Headbutt again. It gets me down to 57. He finally switches out. He goes into Spiritomb. I switch out, predicting he's gonna switch out and go into Cofagrigus. Although it wasn't really the smartest play. Just give me 1 second, guys. Okay, sorry about that, guys. I had to sneeze really bad right there. So we're getting right into this. He goes for Shadow Ball. Does quite a bit of damage to me. I was actually prepping for a physical Spiritomb, not a special Spiritomb. Although I did have a lot of special investment, it still was not enough. It did get me down to 63. And I go for the Will-O-Wisp, getting for the burn. But he did prep for both Spiritomb and stuff like that. I go for Trick Room here. The set on my Cofagrigus was Will-O-Wisp, it was Trick Room, it was Shadow Ball, and it was Nasty Plot. What I should have done this turn, instead of going straight for the burn, I should have gone for the Trick Room and then the Nasty Plot, and then Nasty Plot, Shadow Ball would have been able to at least hit him twice or so. And that would have been very, very clutch on my part to be able to wreck through this Spiritomb, because if you see what I do next here, I go straight for Shadow Ball. It does a lot of damage. I do get this Spadef drop. He does get a crit on me, which it really didn't matter. It just killed the mon anyways. But a lot of hacks and lucky shots did go on his side. I'm not going to say it was like the reason I lost the battle, but like it just happened to be in his favor. And I knew that I wasn't going to do well this game, mainly because the second I send out my Silvally, you'll understand why. So he switches out, he goes to his Quagsire again. I predict the Quagsire, and I go for Magma Storm. Not really a prediction, but it's just a nice to trap whoever's in it. Doesn't get his leftovers back. He goes for Recover, though. I go into my Sugar Man, my Chestnut, and he goes and switches out into his Clefable. I go for Leech Seed. Unfortunately, Leech Seed is not very effective against his mon, so I go for Seed Bomb, see what he does. He goes for Stealth Rocks. I get some damage off of him. He gets Recovery. But my toxic damage is whittling me down. So I send out this Silvally, and here is where Silvally is messed up. So Silvally is supposed to change into typing whatever typing it is supposed to be. So if it's holding, in this case, a Ephemery Memory, it's supposed to turn into a Fairy type Pokemon. But in the game, it said it was a normal type Pokemon. and we were all confuzzled and confused of like how does this mon work, how are you supposed to be able to use this mon. But what we figured out is that you have to use the fairy memory on the mon and choose the fairy type or the fairy typing for the Silvally. So I guess the one thing that could have come out of this battle that was good on my part was now I know how to legally use Silvally, but it's whatever, it's in the past. I had this battle like yesterday, so today's Sunday. There's no team builder this week. I don't think I'm really going to do team builders all that much this season. If you guys want to see team builders, go ahead and leave a like down below and comment you guys want to see team builders, because I would love to talk nonsense in my comment section, or just talk nonsense in my what's it called, I guess video for a team builder. But let's move on. I use parting shot just to get out of there because I didn't really want him to hurt me all that much. I go for my air balloon. He goes for his thunder wave, misses thunder wave, which is a blessed moment on my part. He goes out into his Quagsire, and I believe I just go for flash cannon. I can't really do anything to this thing, so it doesn't really matter to me. I go into my Mega Medicham. I chose Zenyatta as the name for this thing. So he goes into a Spiritomb, and I bring in the tech, and I bring in Foresight to identify this Spiritomb, and this Spiritomb is burned, so it cannot outspeed me, so it has to go for Shadow Sneak, and I go for a straight Drain Punch, and I kill this thing, and I get a bunch of health back. So that's really good on my part. Mega Medicham gets the first kill of the season. He goes into his Jolteon, and now I'm scared for my life because this thing is going to be using a Shadow Ball, and you're probably wondering, why would you go out into Numu, the Silvally? It says that on the layout, it's a normal type Pokemon, so going into Silvally, knowing that he was going to bring Shadow Ball, would have been the play. It would have done no damage. It would just gone, like, oh, it's not effective at all. It's no zero damage. But even though it says normal type on Showdown, it still hits me. So that's kind of bad. That's bad on my part. He goes for Volt Switch, gets a crit, which it kind of mattered. I believe I could have survived one more hit. I go for Flame Charge here. I really should have just gone for Iron Head. There was no reason for me not to go for Iron Head. So I go for Iron Head here, get the flinch, and pray that I get another flinch. But I get a crit. He goes for Moonlight, gets all of his HP back, and I'm stuck here just trying to flinch this man out of his miserable life. I only do get one flinch, and it is the first turn flinch. He goes out into his Quagsire, and I go for Iron Head. It's a crit. It doesn't do much damage. If I would have gotten that second crit on the Clefable, that would have been very, very clutch. But I go on to my Cloud9, thinking I could do something here with it. It has really good special attack, so I mean, like, alright, why not? I go for Taunt to taunt the Clefable, even though it probably doesn't have anything else besides Moonblast as an attack, as you can see here. I missed the first Hurricane. I was like, alright, get the first miss out of the way. I'll be able to hit the second one, no problem. Alright, I go for the second one, and I missed the second one. Alright, I'm like, alright, well, that's just pure shitty. I'm pretty sure Hurricane has like 75% accuracy, so I guess that wasn't the best option to go for. But the moveset I had on Tornadus was U-turn, Hurricane, Tailwind, and Taunt. And as you see here, I do go for the Taunt and Tailwind, and he goes for Moonblast, kills me, and I go out into my Zenyatta. I go for the Fake Out. He does take 20% damage. I do switch out into my Heatran, thinking like, oh, hey, he's gonna switch and do something. Goes for Moonblast. He has 7%. Pops my balloon. Finally pops my balloon. I'm surprised I was able to keep my balloon this long in the match. It was a pretty hefty thing to be able to do. So I go out, Mega Venusaur. It does 24%, goes down to 12, and I go for the safe Magma Storm here again and get all the Mega Venusaur. Heatran picks up its first kill of the season as well. So he goes out into his Deathstroke Haxorus. And if I would have played it right and not have gone into Clefable the first time, and I would have just gone straight into Heatran, I would have been able to still have my balloon, and this Haxorus would not have been able to do anything to me at all. So I go, and he goes for Earthquake. I just have to leave my Heatran in and just die to this thing. There's no other reason to. I go into my Sugarman. He has Aerial Ace, so I die again. And that that was a very big misplay on my part. I could have been able to kill this Haxorus very early in the game, but I decide that I could have. What I should have done was I should have just gone straight into Mega Medicham, go for Fake Out, and then sack off Chestnut or sack off Numu, and then switch back out because he's gonna go for Earthquake again. I go for another Fake Out, and then I kill him. But since I didn't have an extra, I guess, Pokemon to take the hit, I was left with nothing against this Jolteon. If I would have carried Chestnut a little bit longer, I would have been able to at least maybe done more damage to this Jolteon. I would have been able to switch into Chestnut at least one more time, go for the at least an attack or at least a Leech Seed, and then go for Fake Out again, maybe do some massive damage to this Jolteon. But again, I die to a Shadow Ball, and that's the end of the game. I lose 3-0, which isn't terribly bad. It's not terribly bad. It's still a really good score to lose by. If I would have lost like 4 or 5-0, I would have been a little upset, but it was very he missed his Thunder Wave. I got a few crits. I missed 2 Hurricanes. He just happened to be the better battler in this situation, and he played very well. So go check out Nick's side of the battle, see what he has to say. I definitely will go as well. And the confusion about the whole Silvally thing is now fixed, so now we are able to use Silvally, I guess, a little bit better, and I guess more identify what Silvally is now. So thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys have a great day, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.